making English easy for everyone.
Speak English with Jay and May.
Hey, English learners. Welcome back to Speak English with Jay and May, your cozy little place to build your English confidence. I'm May.
Hello, May, and hello, everyone. I'm Jay. How are you today, May?
I'm doing great, Jay. Actually, I was just thinking about the future this morning.
Oh, yeah? What were you thinking about?
I was thinking about my plans, like what do I want to do next month, next year, big dreams, small goals, all of it.
Oh, I love that. Actually, May, I always struggle with this. When someone asks me, what are your future plans? I get nervous. My English just freezes.
Yes, that's exactly what we're talking about today. How to talk about your future plans in English. Super useful, super practical.
I need this so much. Like job interviews, casual conversations, even just talking to friends. People always ask, so what are your plans?
Exactly. And today, we're going to make sure you always have a great answer in perfect English.
Let's go.
But first, real quick, if this podcast helps you feel more confident in English, please subscribe, like, and share it with a friend who is also learning. Turn on notifications so you never miss a daily episode. We drop a new one every single day.
Every day, so no excuses, right?
No excuses. Okay, Jay, let me ask you something. Do you have any future plans right now?
Yes, I want to travel. I want to improve my English. And I think I want to start a small business someday.
Perfect. Those are great plans. Now, how did you just say them?
I said, I want to. Is that correct?
Yes, I want to is one way. But in English, we have a few different ways to talk about the future, and each one has a slightly different feeling.
Oh, interesting. So it's not just one way.
Nope. Think of it like choosing an outfit. You have different clothes for different situations, right?
Yes, I don't wear pajamas to a job interview.
Exactly. Same with future tenses. Different situations need different forms.
Okay, so what are the main ways?
The big three are will, be going to, and be planning to. These three will cover almost everything you need.
Will, be going to, be planning to. Got it. But wait, what's the difference?
Great question. Let's start with will. We use will for decisions we make right now, in the moment. Like someone asks, do you want coffee? And you say, yes, I'll have coffee. You just decided.
Oh, so will is like a sudden decision.
Yes, or also for predictions, like, I think it will rain tomorrow. You're guessing about the future.
You mean like, I think I will pass the test.
Perfect example. You're not sure, but you believe it will happen.
Okay. I like will. It sounds confident.
It does. Now, be going to is different. We use this when we already have a plan, like you decided before. Before this conversation, I was going to make tea this morning. I already planned it.
So it's a plan you made earlier, not right now.
Exactly. So if someone asks, what are you doing this weekend? You say, I'm going to visit my parents. You planned it already.
Oh, so I should say I'm going to improve my English because I already decided that, right?
Yes, you're getting it. See? You're already using it correctly.
Wait, I am?
You are. And the third one, be planning to, is very natural in conversation. Like, I'm planning to start a business next year.
That sounds very professional.
Yes, it sounds thoughtful, like you have a real plan. You're serious about it. It's great for interviews or when you want to sound mature and organized.
Okay, so will for quick decisions or predictions, be going to for plans you already made, and be planning to for serious, organized plans.
You just summarized it perfectly. I'm so proud of you right now.
Thank you, teacher.
Now wait, here's the interesting part. A lot of English learners mix these up, and it can sound a little strange.
Really? Like how?
Okay, so imagine someone asks you, "What are your plans for tonight?" And you say, "I will cook dinner." That sounds a little odd, like you just decided right now.
But if I say, I'm going to cook dinner, that sounds more natural?
Exactly, because you probably already knew you were going to cook, right? It was already in your head.
Oh, wow. That's such a small difference, but it really changes the feeling.
It really does. And you know what? This is where things change for English learners. Once you understand the feeling behind each tense, your English sounds so much more natural.
I feel like I've been saying I will for everything, and now I understand why sometimes people look at me a little confused.
Don't worry, they still understand you, but now you can be more precise.
Okay, May, can you tell me a story? You always explain things so well with stories.
Oh, yes. Okay, so this is actually something funny that happened to me. A few years ago, I had a job interview, and the interviewer asked me, "What are your plans for the next 5 years?"
Oh, that classic question. I hate that question.
Everyone does. So I was nervous, and I said, "I will become a manager. I will lead a team. I will make the company successful."
That sounds very strong.
It sounds too strong, like a robot making promises, or a superhero. The interviewer looked at me like, "Okay, calm down."
Oh no.
So later, my mentor told me, "May, use 'I'm planning to' or 'I'm hoping to.' It sounds more real, more human."
So what should you have said?
I should have said, "I'm planning to develop my leadership skills, and I'm hoping to take on more responsibilities." That sounds thoughtful, not like a robot.
You mean like, I'm planning to become a better speaker instead of I will become a better speaker.
Yes, both are correct, but "I'm planning to" shows you've thought about it. It's warmer and more believable.
This is such good advice. I'm going to remember this for my next interview.
See? You just used "I'm going to" naturally because you already decided to remember it.
I did. Oh my goodness. It's becoming automatic.
That's the goal. Now, let's talk about one more thing. Sometimes we want to talk about future plans that are more like wishes or hopes, not just plans.
Oh, like dreams?
Exactly. For that, we use phrases like "I hope to," "I'd love to," or "I dream of." These are softer, more emotional.
So, I hope to travel the world is different from I'm going to travel the world.
Yes, "I hope to travel the world" means it's a dream, maybe not certain. "I'm going to travel the world" means you have a real plan, maybe even a ticket.
I don't have a ticket yet, so I should say I hope to travel the world.
Perfect. And you know, using "I hope to" can actually make conversations very warm and personal. People love hearing about your dreams.
That's true. When someone shares a dream, you feel connected to them.
Exactly. Okay, Jay, I want you to imagine something. Imagine you're at a party and someone asks you, "So, what are you up to these days? What are your plans?"
Okay, I'm imagining it. A little scary, but okay.
Don't be scared. Now, before today, maybe you would just say, "I want to do many things." Very simple, right?
Yes, that's exactly what I would say. And then I'd feel embarrassed.
But now you can say, "Well, I'm planning to improve my English, I'm going to take an online course next month, and I hope to work abroad someday." How does that sound?
That sounds amazing. Like a real confident person.
Because it is a real confident person. That's you.
I like this version of me.
You won't believe what happens when you start speaking like this. People start taking you more seriously. They ask follow-up questions. The conversation flows.
Really? Just from changing the words a little?
Just from that. Language is powerful, Jay. The way you say something changes how people see you.
Wow. Okay, I'm definitely practicing this tonight.
Good. And one more tip. When you talk about future plans, it's nice to add a reason, like I'm planning to learn Spanish because I want to travel to Mexico.
Oh, adding because makes it sound more complete?
Yes, it makes your answer interesting. People want to know the why behind your plans.
You mean like, I'm going to exercise more because I want to feel healthier.
Perfect sentence. See? You're a natural.
May, you make me feel so good about myself.
That's my job. Okay, let's do the vocabulary moment. I want to highlight 5 useful phrases from today's conversation.
Yes, I love this part.
Okay, number 1, I'm going to. This means you already have a plan. You decided before this moment.
Like, I'm going to study English tonight. I planned it this morning already.
Beautiful. Number 2, I'm planning to. This sounds organized and serious, great for interviews or formal conversations.
I'm planning to save money this year. That sounds very mature.
Very mature indeed. Number 3, I hope to. This is for dreams or wishes, things you really want but aren't sure about yet.
I hope to visit Japan someday. Yes, that's my dream.
Love it. Number 4, I'll probably. We use this when we're not completely sure about a future plan. It's casual and honest.
You mean like, I'll probably stay home this weekend. Like maybe, not 100%?
Exactly. It's relaxed, not a strong promise. Number 5, I'd love to. This is very warm and expressive. You use it when something excites you.
I'd love to work in another country. Oh, that sounds so expressive. I really feel it when I say that.
Yes, that's the magic of I'd love to. It puts emotion into your sentence.
Okay, so we have I'm going to, I'm planning to, I hope to, I'll probably, and I'd love to. Those 5 phrases can change everything.
Exactly. And you can mix and match them. In one answer, you can use 2 or 3 of them, and it sounds so natural.
Like, I'm planning to change my job, and I hope to start my own business someday. I'd love to be my own boss.
Wow. Okay, that was genuinely impressive. You just used 3 of them perfectly in one answer.
I surprised myself.
This is what happens when things click. And trust me, for our listeners out there, it will click for you too. Just keep practicing.
You know, I think the biggest lesson today is that English has different tools for the future, and choosing the right tool makes you sound more natural.
That's it. You said it better than I did. I should put that in a quote somewhere.
Please do.
And for everyone listening, don't be afraid to talk about your future in English, your dreams, your plans, your hopes. These are beautiful things to share.
And now you have the words to share them.
Exactly. Okay, before we go, I have one question for all of you listening right now. We would love to hear from you.
Oh yes, what's the question?
The question is, what is one future plan you have right now? Tell us using one of today's phrases. I'm going to, I'm planning to, I hope to, I'll probably, or I'd love to.
Oh, I'll go first. I'm planning to practice speaking English for 10 minutes every day, starting today.
I love that, and I hope to hear your answers in the comments. Write it down, share it with us. We read every single comment.
And remember, writing it down in English is also practice.
Such a good point, Jay. All right, English learners, that's all for today. Thank you so much for spending this time with us.
You're amazing for showing up and learning today. Seriously, every episode you listen to is a step forward.
Keep going, keep practicing, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Because remember, we're here every single day.
Every day, so come back tomorrow. We'll be here waiting.
Take care, everyone. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.